Prince Harry's departure from his role as a senior working royal was not just a break from royal duties. It was an escape from a life that, as he describes, was marked by coldness, emotional distance, and deep-rooted family conflict. In interviews and his bombshell memoir Spare, Harry has pulled back the curtain on the often idealized image of the British royal family, exposing a culture where emotional restraint and physical distance were not just expected, but ingrained in daily life, even within the walls of the palace. From a young age, Harry felt the impact of the royal family's rigid emotional barriers. He describes a world where physical affection was scarce. Hugs, kisses, and simple gestures of comfort were few and far between, even on birthdays or other special occasions. It wasn't just the public who were kept at arm's length. Family members themselves were often emotionally and physically distant from one another. This culture, Harry suggests, created an unspoken but deeply felt sense of isolation and loneliness. One of the most poignant aspects of Harry's revelations is the strained relationship with his brother, Prince William. Once seen as the inseparable duo of the royal family, the brothers' relationship became increasingly fractured under the weight of public scrutiny and private pressures. Harry recalls William frequently asking for space, creating a growing emotional rift between them. The tension reached a breaking point during a heated argument about Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, which escalated into a physical altercation, an incident that shattered the public perception of their once close bond. This clash, which Harry detailed with raw honesty, underscored the deep-seated animosities and unresolved issues simmering beneath the surface. Harry's account of life behind palace walls is filled with moments that highlight his profound sense of alienation. He describes feeling trapped in a world where his every move was scrutinized, his emotions were suppressed, and his personal struggles were masked by the royal facade. His memoir, Spare, is filled with deeply personal anecdotes, including his sense of isolation as a child and the crushing burden of a public upbringing that offered little solace or support. Harry openly discusses his later battles with drugs and alcohol, revealing how he used substances to cope with the overwhelming emotional pain that came with his role. Harry's relationship with his father, King Charles, was also marked by emotional distance. The generational divide between Harry and his father was more than just an age gap. It was a chasm in how they expressed emotions and dealt with personal challenges. Harry struggled to connect with his father only deepened the sense of being misunderstood and unsupported within his own family. He paints a picture of a father who, though present, was often emotionally unavailable, bound by the same traditions of stoicism and restraint that Harry grew to resent. The emotional toll of royal life became too much for Harry to bear, pushing him to make the drastic decision to step back from his royal duties in 2020. In leaving, he hoped to break the cycle of emotional neglect and create a different path for his own family. Harry's choice was not just a bid for freedom, but a desperate attempt to shield his children from the same coldness and distance that he endured. He has since sought a life where he can embrace being a more open, affectionate, and present father, qualities he longed for but seldom experienced in his own upbringing. Harry's revelations have sparked a wave of public curiosity and outrage, as many grapple with the stark contrast between the royal family's polished image and the painful reality Harry describes. His story is a sobering reminder that behind the glamour and privilege of royal life lies a world fraught with emotional wounds, unspoken resentments, and a legacy of suppressed feelings that no title or crown can ever fully mask.